All right, guys, so listen, if you are in a position right now where you're going through tremendous challenges, maybe you're in a miserable marriage, maybe you're separated and getting divorced, or you have gone through a divorce, you're struggling with financial issues, career issues, maybe all the above. I got a message for you here on Resilient Man channel today that's going to encourage you. So stick around as we are out here on a walk on a beautiful trail. I'm going to share my story of where I was 2 years ago at this time in April of 2023, and what a difference 2 years can make, and how it did in my life and how it can in yours as well if you stay resilient, stay strong, keep focused. This story is going to encourage you. It really is. So, April of 2023, I was in a very bad place. Miserable in my life, in a miserable marriage. I was separated. My wife had walked out on me in August of 2022 after 6+ years of marriage, my second wife, and was deep in debt, going through tremendous challenges with my career. You name it, all the above. I mean, I could check off all the boxes. And, you know, some of you guys can relate to this because you're dealing with it in your lives as well. And I'm here to tell you, I'm making this message for you because you will get through this. You can get through this. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to share with you how staying resilient and keep moving forward, keep moving through the obstacle. Just 2 years later, your life can be so much different and so much better. And it will be. So, April of 2023, in a miserable marriage, separated, broke, deep in debt, all these things. And to give you a little background, I was separated from my second wife. She walked out in August of 2022, and she walked in one Thursday morning and said, I'm moving out. And by Sunday afternoon, she had moved out and took everything. She said, I don't want a divorce. I simply want to work on our marriage separated. I've rented another house and we can work on that and see if we can come back together in the next year or so and reconcile and be a married couple again. Well, I don't know if you can relate to this, but my mindset at the time, first I told her she was making a huge mistake and that she was going to cause a lot more problems in our life, especially financially. And which is exactly what she did, mainly for her. And I warned her, I said, you're making a huge mistake, but there was nothing I could do about it. So it was what it was. So she moved out, and that was August of 2022. And for the next 8 months, we essentially dated, trying to reconcile, trying to work through our differences. Again, with the goal of moving back in together and becoming a unified married couple again in July of 2023. Well, that didn't happen, and I'm about to share why it didn't happen. So we had multiple challenges even after we separated. But in April of 2023, I did our taxes every year. And I had done our taxes, and I received our tax refund, and in an effort to help her out a little bit financially, I sent her I Venmo'd her the majority of the tax refund, and then I sent her a text and told her so. And in the text I said, you know, I happened to mention that week I was going to pay my child support. Now I'll give you a little background. This was my second marriage. She came into the marriage with 2 children. I came into the marriage with 2 children. We did not have any children together. So I was paying child support on my kids. Well, she texted me back. And that is when all hell broke loose and an argument proceeded for the next 6 weeks, which would put me on the path to filing for divorce, ending this miserable marriage, taking back my life. And 2 years later, I am in an absolutely fantastic place, and I'm crafting the ideal life that I've always wanted, which is why I'm sharing this message of encouragement with you here today. Hang tight, I think you're going to enjoy this message. So she responds back to my text and says, I don't think you should pay your child support. I am your wife. You should give me that money because I am in deep financial trouble and I should be your priority, not your kids. Your kids are fine. I'm your wife. I'm the priority. In which I responded, you're out of your effing mind. There's no way in hell that's going to happen. There's no way in hell I'm not going to pay my child support and not support my children. I warned you not to do this. I told you you were going to put yourself in a bad place financially, that you were going to cause a lot more trouble, and that's exactly what you've done. You know, you made your bed, lie in it. So we proceeded to argue via text, and I refused to then see her. I said, listen, if this is, number one, what you're asking is absolutely despicable. It's despicable that you would ask me to not pay my child support and give you that money. I said, I do not want to see you until you apologize and until, you make this right. She refused. I refused. We both stuck to our guns and refused to back down. Well, so this argument went on for 6 weeks over text, but I can tell you by the first week, I had already made the decision. I'm finished. I am hiring an attorney. I'm filing for divorce. I'm extricating myself out of this miserable marriage once and for all. And just so you know, we had dated for 2 years prior to getting married. Everything was so good. It was wonderful. Got married, all hell broke loose. It was a catastrophe. Some of you guys can relate to this. You have dated someone, she was wonderful, and then the real her came out after you got married. So I wanted to extricate myself from this marriage for a long time. And this was part of the blessing, guys. She actually did me a favor by walking out on me and leaving me. So I met with an attorney, I counseled. He counseled with me to, just to give you a little background. In the area that we live, you have to be separated for 1 year before you can file for divorce. Once the year is up, then you can file papers and move forward. So that was April of 23. I could not file for divorce until April of 2024. So he counseled me, my attorney, to lay low, keep to yourself, have no contact with her, pay down debt, just stick to work. I also decided to not get involved with any other women. I didn't date. I stayed to myself to process and heal, and also to not bring any other problems into my life with another new woman. Okay, some of you guys need to hear that part of the message, that if you are separated, stay single. All right, stay single until you are fully divorced. It's not worth the hassle. So over the next year, that's what I did. I did everything my attorney counseled me to do, and it's what you should do if you have an attorney. Listen to them. You're paying them. So April of 2024, it had been a year, I was able to finally file for divorce. So we filed for divorce, and of course the process is you serve your spouse via the sheriff's department. And the sheriff's department went out and tried to serve her multiple times. Couldn't locate her, couldn't serve her. The next step in the process was to serve divorce papers by a process server, which is essentially like a private investigator. They tried multiple times, could not locate her at the address that she was supposed to be at. The next step in the process in our state was you file by notice of publication in the major newspaper, and you post the divorce notification in the newspaper for 3 consecutive weeks. And then if there's no response, then you are eligible to file an affidavit with the court and petition the court to grant you divorce on the grounds that we've tried to serve my spouse and we cannot locate her, and would the court grant me divorce? We had done everything legally that we were required to do. We simply could not locate her. At the time, we thought she was just hiding from being served, which of course a lot of people do. So, long story short, we filed the affidavit with the court. I went before the judge. The judge literally took about 2 minutes, said, you know, I've gone over the files, I've gone over the documents, everything looks good, I'm going to sign off on this divorce. I was divorced within 2 minutes, so it was absolutely wonderful. That was in late September of 2024. Guys, I walked away, divorced, no alimony, no nothing, walked completely away, scot-free. Karma's a bitch. Karma's a bitch. She had walked out on me, abandoned me, 2 weeks after I lost my full-time job, by the way. You know, karma's a bitch. So fast forward 4 months, she sent me an email and she said to me in the email, we need to bring this to a resolution because, you know, this has gone on long enough and we need to resolve this by, you know, divorce or what have you. In which I responded with one sentence to her, and that was, we've been divorced for 4 months. She responded back to that email in about 5 minutes. And guys, I gotta tell you, I would have loved to have seen the look on her face when she read my response. Because she responded back and said, how were you able to divorce me without my knowledge? Well, look, I mean, we had gone through all of the legal process. We had done exactly what we were required to do by the laws of our state. We couldn't locate her to serve her papers. We thought she was hiding from being served. And so I didn't respond back. I just blocked her and I moved on with life. And again, I would have loved to seen the look on her face when she realized I divorced her and there was absolutely nothing she could do about it. I was done. I had washed my hands of her. Again, karma's a bitch, guys. So that was September of 2024. And now it's April of 2025. And I can tell you, in the last 2 years, I have extricated myself from a miserable marriage where I was absolutely miserable and I regretted ever getting into it. I divorced her and walked away completely scot-free. I am completely debt-free. I've paid off all debt. My career is absolutely on fire and I'm doing fantastic. I had been 30 pounds overweight. I've dropped that weight. I'm in some of the best shape of my life, staying very active, of course. And, you know, living my best life and continuing to move forward with crafting the ideal life that I want. And, you know, some of you guys are in that terrible situation right now. Maybe you're in a terrible marriage or you're going through a divorce and you've been there, man, where your spouse just hinders you so much. I mean, it's like dragging a heavy weight behind you. Well, that weight for me is gone. That weight for me is gone. And so are all the problems that came with it. You know, so I'm in this wonderful position now. And that's why I'm sharing this message with you here today on Resilient Man channel. Because if you are in a position like that today, terrible marriage, going through divorce, financial problems and debt, career problems, you know, need to work on your weight, your health. Guys, you can, in just 2 short years or shorter, you can overcome these things and you can progress and you can completely change the scope of your life. And, you know, that's what I want to share with you today, a message of encouragement, especially for you men out there who are in a bad place right now, man. Because I can tell you, I will share with you, 2 years ago at this time, I was beaten down. I was absolutely beaten down. And prior to getting married, I was a strong, resilient guy. And after being in a brutal marriage of contention and stress and drama, you know, it had torn me down. It had beaten me down. Maybe you're in that place right now. Keep going. Keep going. Focus on what you need to do. Focus on being the best version of yourself. And you're going to come out of this. And you're going to come out of this so much more resilient, so much more stronger. And you're going to thank yourself. Man, I'm so excited about life. I got so much to look forward to. I'm so thankful and grateful. And I hope you get to this place too. So guys, hit that subscribe button right now. Support the channel. I really would appreciate your support by subscribing, liking the content. We have a lot of other great content here on Resilient Man channel. Comment your thoughts. Comment what you're going through and how you're overcoming and how you are staying resilient. My hope here is, as we grow Resilient Man channel, is to grow a community of men helping men, being advocates for each other, encouraging each other, letting each other know, hopefully by the content that I'm publishing here on Resilient Man channel, you're not alone. You're not alone if you're a man who is going through tremendous struggles and challenges, be it with a marriage or work or financial problems or all the above. You know, you're not alone. There are guys out there like me and the other guys who are watching this who give a damn and understand how hard it is in our society and culture today to be a man and to stay resilient. So guys, I hope this message, again, I hope it encourages you. Guys, know your worth, protect your peace.